Lacrosse Legends. Lacrosse Legends, a comprehensive look at America's greatest game, featuring legends past, present, and future.
Today, Lacrosse Legends visits with Coach Issac Neal.
Coach Issac Neal, Tri-Level Sports, ING Lacrosse, Rebels Lacrosse Club. Lacrosse Legends caught up with Coach Neal at the Long Island Sports Complex. Coach, good to see you. How you been?
Everything's good. You know, coming off of a really good summer, club lacrosse circuit, I'm spending a lot of time with the family, and then just now getting back into that routine of school and everything and making sure that kids' schedules are full, fulfilled, and everybody's ready to go.
You brought up family. I have to ask, there's been a little drama with your hometown lately. How's everybody back home doing?
Everyone's fine. You know, for Aurora, we were actually talking about it last night. It's a very resilient place. So it's one of those places where things go on. In terms of our diversity, there's always going to be a little something that comes with it. But I think, like, as an entire city, we've always done a good job in rebounding off of anything. So I think it just makes us a very resilient Aurorian or Coloradoan, if you will.
Tri-Level Sports.
Oh, it's an entity that myself and a couple other guys had put together. Really their brain power, not for nothing. It's really just about bringing an experience in terms of athletics to a younger generation. I feel like a lot of us, and myself included, we get very wrapped up into one sport. We're really able to provide a good experience at that one sport. But at the ground level, we want to be able to inspire young kids to be a little bit more athletic, maybe try different sport opportunities that they might not, and then also kind of fill that need and gap where a lot of children nowadays, their sports are very scheduled. So it gives them an opportunity to come and participate in a multi-sport facet or aspect, really gives them an opportunity to explore different areas of the sport. And our taglines are really discover, train, and compete, guiding kids towards that discovery of a sport. Maybe it's something that they haven't picked up before. Maybe it's something that they're not learning in gym class or something that their parents didn't sign up for at the time being. And then that training aspect, those kids who want to maybe immerse themselves a little bit more in any particular sport or sports, and then to compete. So really then focus on getting them ready for their level of competition at any level that they play at, or also down the road, you know, providing an opportunity for different leagues or opportunities to be a little bit more social in the sport. We started off this summer, we had a little kid camp where we had kids all the way from 3 years old, upwards of 8, introducing them to sports like baseball, soccer, flag football, and then giving them an opportunity just to have some fun with maybe a new sport or a sport they've played only a couple of times.
You also introduced them to lacrosse?
We will be. For us, it's really working with some other existing entities to kind of duplicate things been done in the past. Oftentimes at the soccer level, we see entities like Soccer Shots or Super Soccer Stars. At the lacrosse level, we want to get kids going earlier. So giving them access to really good equipment, a nice facility, and then really great coaching, and then just make it fun.
What are the essentials to making tri-level work?
I think for us, it's just about being flexible and dynamic. Looking at, and myself as a father of an 8-year-old and a 3-year-old, it's important for us to kind of adapt to the needs of any given age group. So like I look at my son right now, you know, we're trying to fulfill maybe that 3-year-old age group. When can we meet? How often do we need to meet? What types of classes should we have? But then even more importantly, it's about the three of us. So myself, my partners Ian and Wayne, looking at their strengths and seeing how they interact with kids at all different levels, I think is really big. Being able to bring kids in, and I'll use that word experience a lot, that we want them to have a great experience. So it's making sure that any kid at any level has that discovery of a sport that maybe they'll one day, you know, choose to love and pursue even further.
At this level, do you notice any superstars in the making, or are you just...
I mean, I think one can always see that, but for me, I've been around any sport and all sports long enough to know that just because a young person might excel when they're, you know, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, it doesn't mean it's always going to happen. So I think for us, it's also about tapping into their ability to want to come train, to want to come and get better. I think oftentimes kids can rely on their athleticism, but when we're introducing them to the sport and then training them in the sport and getting them ready to compete, it's about even just having that schedule of, hey, today you're going to work on strength and agility and speed, tomorrow you're going to work on this particular sport, and then even cross-train. So give them that opportunity to just be an athlete more so than be dominant in one sport at any given age. We focus on 3 all the way up. We're going to give kids an opportunity to tap into us in the way that they want. If you're an older child who wants to come in and experience a new sport at a slower level, we can offer that. If you're somebody who wants to come in and train and really get after it and be pushed weekly and on a regular schedule, we can facilitate that as well. So it's really, like I said, about being adaptable and kind of fitting that niche of your clientele, and also understanding that everybody's going to want a different experience from any given sport. So how do we fulfill that? And it's about listening to our customers.
What's been the #1 sport they've been interested in? Is it flag football? Is it soccer? Is it
flag football is very big right now. You know, I think from a flag football standpoint and then a baseball, softball standpoint, in essence, they're kind of co-ed, right? There's some things that translate from the boys' game to the girls' game and vice versa. So that's been pretty big. You know, we've also focused on a little bit of team training. So having individual teams in, getting them good coaching, like I said, providing that good experience, providing, you know, a good spot to train, but then at the same time, just challenging them. Now, I think as we start to emerge, we're going to have other teams from other sports, including lacrosse, starting to come out and want to be trained by us as well.
It's a good thing you're doing. I see young people out here also training the kids. So
Yes.
It's like you're also grooming the future coaches of America.
Well, and that goes into that experience. Kids are going to have an experience based on the coach that they have in any given sport. So if you're able to put them around people who care about them and care about their development and are willing to push them in ways that maybe we can, but it's diversified, it makes it all the better. Yeah, I think it's for us, it's the experience that we can provide. You know, we have a brain power that allows us to really tap into our strengths. For myself, I've been a lacrosse guy for the last, 15 years. So being able to bring some of that training aspect, but then also learning from my partners. Us just giving that 3-tiered approach to development, teaching kids, introducing kids to individual sports, making sure that they're training, they have a schedule and a set curriculum and plan that's going to make them better players and they're going to have fun with it. And then providing them opportunities to compete. I think the more that kids are immersing themselves in those 3 steps, they not only learn those transferable skills that can transfer over to the workplace or college or school or even just family life, but it also gives them an opportunity to have fun in what they're doing, right? It's not so much a job, but it's more so just that tiered, like, hey, today I'm going to go train, or tomorrow I'm going to go learn a new sport, or next week I have a game. And I think for them, as they develop and participate in more sports or athletics, it's going to be more fun for them.
We spoke before about how your coaching philosophy has had to adapt with the time.
Right.
You've coached higher level, you've coached high school, now we're talking young kids.
Yeah, I was a physical education teacher for 11 years. So I would go on any given day from kindergarten PE all the way up to a varsity lacrosse practice.
Okay.
So seeing that development and those increments is very helpful, even in terms of planning a practice. There are things that 12th graders need to learn that 5-year-olds are still learning as well. So it really gives an opportunity to kind of hone your skills as a coach, kind of dumb things down, for lack of a better word, but then experiment with ways that might challenge an older player that still help a younger player have fun in any given sport.
I didn't realize you were a phys ed teacher back in the day. I didn't realize that. This is tailor-made for you.
This is fun. This is the fun part of it. Training is the fun part.
3 master's degrees. You run for 99 yards. You hold the record for the longest touchdown run in Colorado. You coached Port Washington. Where does this rank among your achievements?
I think for me right now, everything that I'm involved in at this current time all benefits my own kids. So whether it's spending more time with them, providing them access to whether it's discovering new sports, training, or competing, for me, that's the most fulfilling. So being able to provide something for them that they're able to participate in, that I'm able to watch them participate and grow in, that means the world to me. So even just having that time and capacity and ability to do so, that's what works.
Next on Lacrosse Legends. You're watching Lacrosse Legends.
I think today's been going great. We've got 50, 60 kids out here running around, having a good time. We're teaching them the basics so they can learn a little bit about football, baseball, agility, speed, and it just looks like everyone's having a great time. I know I'm having a good time, the other coaches are having a good time, and we're just really hoping to get these kids used to playing, learning the sports, and just enjoying themselves.
Again, you have an educational background, but why is it about sports? Why not teach piano lessons? Why not?
Because sports are fun, right? We talk about that. Sports are fun. It's one of those things where I look back at myself as a kid and I speak about this with a lot of different parents. That's how we all socialized. It was like, hey, we're going to meet tomorrow at school. Tomorrow we're bringing baseball gloves. Today we're going to meet. We're going to bring a basketball, bring a football. Those were the things that made us compete. I think it made us closer. I also look at a lot of the capacities that people have were built on sports. Getting up and training, that commitment to something. It's one of those things where you have fun playing it. You have your friends along there with you, and then all at the same time, it's fun. You're picking what you want to do, and you're competing with it. So sports will always win out for me.
And you also touched about education a little bit. Is there an educational component?
Of course. I really think in the discovery and the training aspect. So when you're discovering a new sport, you want to learn about that sport, the nuances of that sport. You want it to be fun. But when you're training, you want to start to then break down the specifics of that sport where you as an athlete or the individual competitor is going to be able to get better. So taking the individual skill sets that certain kids might have in various sports and then extending them and providing them with a little bit of that gas, we call it, to want to keep going, making sure that they're having a positive experience with whatever it is that they're training in.
We got the makings of a school right here.
Look, it's one of those things where people commit a lot. People commit a lot of their time, a lot of their money, a lot of their weekends, a lot of their summers. I've always said it since I started training when I was 19 years old. You want to provide a positive experience. People are going to come to work every day. People are going to come to support every day. Make sure that their kids are having fun. TryLevelSports.com, TRI-levelsports.com. We have a lot of fall offerings right now, everywhere from baseball, softball, lacrosse, soccer. And then even in October, we're hosting a Nike flag football camp. So we'll host that here at Long Island Sports Complex. And again, just looking to provide positive experiences for kids in sports.
The country does have a situation with a pay-to-play, families who can't afford it. Do you offer any special?
Always. I think it's one of those things that with respect to it goes unsaid. At any given time, if someone were to reach out and say, hey, we'd really like to experience X, Y, and Z, yes, it's a business, but it's not always about making money. Like I said, it's about that positive experience. So if there's somebody that wants to be immersive in that experience, let's provide it. Let's provide it. So it's one of those things where, all someone would have to do is just communicate it. I know sometimes that's hard, but it's one of those things that also helps our relationship grow from us to that customer or that consumer. We want to have that open line of communication at any given time, understand that we're all here to support each other and support their kids, if nothing else.
What's next?
It's really about growing this brand and just making sure that kids have a positive experience. At the other hand, it's figuring out how brands like this can help larger brands. So like being a director for Blatant Athletics and Blatant Lacrosse, I think it gives me an opportunity to kind of stay grounded, looking at things from the ground up versus where we are in terms of Blatant and with Rebels. And it really taps into my skill set. So it keeps me humble and it keeps me hungry and it keeps me wanting to help grow some of those other entities, including Blatant. So Blatant Lacrosse, very predominant company. We have a media division, an events division, we run Rebels. And for us, it's really about finding that premier talent. And just like we're looking to do at Tri-Level, train them. One thing that sets us apart from most other clubs is we do have our own facility. We do offer experienced trainers on a regular basis, and it gives kids, again, an opportunity to really immerse themselves in the sport of lacrosse. I also believe putting them in front of college coaches, so like we run a Blatant exposure event where 180 kids, 60 different colleges, all up and down the East Coast, everywhere from Georgia, Florida, all the way up through New Hampshire. Really just, again, providing that fun experience. As a kid, I can remember traveling for lacrosse, meeting kids from all over the country. We're providing that experience to people and to young athletes and to young lacrosse players, and then helping them get recruited. So it's really just about making sure from that discovery aspect and then learning the sport and then growing these kids, providing them an experience to go and play in college and providing them an opportunity to showcase their own skills as they grow. For Blatant Lacrosse, it's really important for us to make sure that we're finding new ways to showcase kids' talent. For me, I really want to train kids. I want to get them better. I want them to fall in love with this sport, really tap into their own athleticism, make sure that they're being pushed. For my team, it's about them, again, ensuring that positive experience. We use that a lot. How are we showcasing our kids? How are we extending our kids' knowledge of the game? Yesterday, we had a PLL tent. Kids were there for the FDNY NYPD game. They were able to stay for the games after. And all of our team snaps are going off. Who's where? Who's bringing what, and making that very family oriented. And then it bleeds into the season and kids have a positive experience with it. So that's what it's all about. For me, tapping back into some of these drills and skills that maybe I haven't revisited in about 4 or 5 years out of phys ed, and then being able to bring it to my team at Blatant. So everything kind of helps itself. And then from a Nassau perspective, I really do think that we're predominantly Blatant in Suffolk. As we move west, giving us a space to really tap into that as well, giving us that curriculum that we can put in front of kids, and then training them. One hand scratches the other one's back, so to speak.
Well, this is a really great thing you're doing here. You are one of the great minds in this sport.
Well, I appreciate that. We believe in it. I mean, it's one of those things where you believe in it. My partners always say, like, if you build it, we'll come. Today is a first day. If we have 1 kid, 2 kids, that's fine. It's really about like figuring out those kinks, right? Like yesterday, we spent about 6 hours trying to get the website live, trying to get registrations up. And then now, as that happens, we're able to spread the word in a good way. You want to put out a good product. We know on the field the product's going to be great. So we want that visual, that outset, whether it's a website or a social media or whatnot, to be a reflection of us. So it's about putting that time in as well. And then as we build it, they will come. So we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, so the pride and practice of ING Lacrosse is really extending kids' understanding in terms of their growth and their approach to the game. So my focus is instilling some of that IQ. So a lot of the things that other trainers train, when to take the step down shot, how we're approaching out to our guy, maybe how we're even saving the ball or picking up a ground ball. I want to extend that. Seeing a lot of lacrosse and being around different levels of lacrosse, not only at the youth level, but also at a high school level, I find it extremely important, or there's a space for kids to now train the way that they're going to play.
I was impressed by the terminology you were using with these young people. You sound like a college coach out there, and they were understanding everything you were saying.
You know what it is? Kids these days, and especially the guys that are at this training, they are committed to the sport, right? So they're not only playing for their towns or their PAL or their middle school league, but they're also really invested in that club or even national level. And then on top of that, they're also invested in that training portion. So from my end, I want to make sure that I'm an extension of other trainers. I'm an extension of not only their PAL or their town coach, but also an extension of their potential club or national team coaches. It's important for me to have them have a good product on the field, so why not train that way?
How do we find out more about ING?
So follow me, Coach _Isaac Neal on Instagram. Follow anything that maybe Blatant Athletics is doing or Tri-Level Sports is doing. And you can find more information on not only camps in the summer, but also more training opportunities. Tournament-wise, yes, my Rebel Stealth team will be playing for the entirety of the summer. Our Blatant National 31 team qualified for the Spring Circuit Championships, so we'll be playing in that on Memorial Day weekend, coinciding with the NCAA Finals. And we're looking to really make a splash in that market in terms of this summer.
Coach, you're doing a great job, and I promise you we'll be there. We're going to check that out.
Appreciate it.
This is Monsanto Muzak for Lacrosse Legends.
Make sure you fake it. Got it? Break it down. Break it down.